Hello, everyone. This is Gary Reyes again with Eugene Spotlights, and here I have the honor to introduce to you Misty Hall, who is the director of Bags of Love.
Yes.
So I'm very excited to see about the operation because I know they do an awful lot for the community. So we're going to take we're going to do a little survey here and go through the big warehouse that they have and go through all the things that they provide for our community. So follow us and we'll head on in.
Okay, so Bags of Love started in 2008 by a local woman named Di Barong. She saw a need for kiddos entering specifically the foster care system or being taken from their homes by police officers. They sometimes had a garbage bag full of items or just absolutely nothing but what they were wearing. And she thought that we can do better for these children. Bags of Love was born. So it's a literal care package for a child in crisis. We've since expanded. It's a child in crisis due to abuse, neglect, poverty, homelessness, or disaster, not just foster care.
Oh boy, I can imagine just the picture that you've already painted.
Yeah.
A police officer is intimidating to a young child, and they're being taken away from the home that they know about.
Right.
And they're not in a particularly good situation, but they're being removed, and just having the clothes on their back, they have no idea, with their teddy bear, whatever, all their prized possessions sometimes are left behind.
Right. You know, the agencies who assist children in crisis can get them to a safe place at night, but they have no control over the amenities available. Do they have a toothbrush? Do they have pajamas? Do they have a blanket or a stuffed animal to cuddle that night? So that's really what Bags of Love does. We're helping that immediate critical need for children in crisis.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a fine thing that this organization is providing, because without Bags of Love, are there other organizations that can fill that role?
No, we're the only, Bags of Love is the only one in Lane County and beyond. We get requests from out of state all the time, all the way across to the East Coast asking for support. And we're like, we don't have another Bags of Love, you know, at this time, but yeah.
But they can follow your example and
Absolutely.
your organizational pattern.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Can we go inside and
Absolutely.
see what it's all about?
Let's go see.
Okay, follow us.
So this is our sewing department. I'm going to use the word sewing lightly because we do so much more than sewing. Most of the fabric here has all been donated by generous community donations. It's so important to us because our bags, our quilts, bibs, burp cloths, they're all made by volunteer sewers. And we never want the cost of fabric to prevent somebody from volunteering with us. So it's so important for us to have fabric to be able to lend to our at-home sewers to produce the things that we need here.
How many, when you say people donate, are probably organizations donate as opposed to individuals?
Both.
Both.
We have tons of just normal individuals who donate. In fact, they're sorting through fabric right now. We just got a huge fabric donation from just an anonymous donor who came by and dropped off stuff. Didn't want recognition, just dropped off wonderful fabric. We do have organizations as well that will do donation drives for us to collect specific things. But yeah. So our volunteer sewers make kits, whether it be an actual quilt kit with instructions that it's all been cut and ready to go, so a volunteer sewer can go and sew that at home. Our bag kits, as well as burp cloths and bibs. We have yarn, we have thread, we have everything that an at-home sewer could possibly need.
What I'm impressed with is how you've organized not only the items, but the age level that it will work for.
Yes, yes. We try to make sure that the quilt size are appropriate for the children. So for our oldest ones, 11 and up, if they have a twin size bed, the idea is that the quilt fits it. We also have the opportunity for people who don't sew, like myself. We have no-sew blanket kits that we have businesses often check out to do a team bonding, and it just is a great way to supplement. And for somebody who doesn't sew, they can still participate and help out. So when the quilt tops are made out of the kits, they can bring them back here, and we have volunteers who put in the batting and the backing in the quilts as well. And then we have actual physical sewers who will finish the last sewing. So this is kind of our leaderboard. This is just kind of what's going on, the orders that have come in for the month. Last year, Bags of Love helped out 4,883 children, predominantly Lane County. However, it's all over Oregon, whoever requests our assistance. So we can't vet. We operate on 2.7 FTE. as paid staff here. Everybody else is a volunteer. So we're not able to vet 4,883 children, but our agency partners can. We're currently working with over 135 agency partners. That's everyone from government offices, that is WIC, DHS, FBI, Human and Labor Trafficking, local school locations, and all the other nonprofits in town. Most recently, Migrant Education Program. This is Refugee Relief, Relief Nursery, Daisy Chain. Any and everybody who needs assistance for children will come to Bags of Love to help fill the need that they're unable to. We currently have about 270 volunteers who volunteer for us. Again, it's about 60 or so that work in the warehouse Monday through Thursday, and then another 200 plus who sew at home for us. And that's how we're able to have close to 5,000 blankets available.
Because you have a lot of talent in the community.
Absolutely. We can look at some bags that are waiting to get picked up over here.
Okay.
Again, for a 10 and under bag, oh, they're quite substantial when they're up there.
Goodness.
Yeah. This one's specifically for a 9-year-old boy. It's a fabric bag. Again, it's just more cost economical for us with the donated fabric and donated labor. But that's what a Bag of Love looks like for a 10-year-old. For 11 and up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We do duffel bags. I don't see the tag on this one. We chose to do duffel bags for 11 and up because we noticed more and more of our population were unhoused or couch surfers. Maybe they can stay with a relative for a week. Maybe their guardian can afford housing for a week or two. They're somewhat transient, and more often than not, a duffel bag that we purchase is often their luggage.
And this looks much more normal for a child. You can imagine an 11 or 12-year-old packing away. One of these would not look as cool, or as, this is more secretive, if I'll use that word.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is kind of our bag production area. They're making some bags right now, our volunteers. We have to organize the warehouse. This is all girls and that is all boys. So in every Bag of Love that goes out, there's an outfit or two of clothing. There is brand new underwear, brand new socks. There's pajamas. There's an age and gender appropriate toiletry kit. So for babies, that is, you know, pacifiers, diaper cream, diapers, wipes. For teenagers, deodorant, shampoo, floss, toothbrush, all the things that a teenager would need. We have activity kits and toys. We have school supply kits. There's also the comfort items, which are the stuffed animals as well as the quilts.
I'm impressed not only with all the things that you provide, but I'm impressed with your organization.
Yeah.
This is a well-oiled machine, as they say.
Many, many hands and talented volunteers who help keep us organized. And
can you guys come over to my house and organize my world?
We can go this way.
This is impressive.
There's examples of the activity kits and toys, samples of the books. We try to always include bilingual books. We're working right now with getting some other languages like Ukrainian that is possibly needed for some of our recipients. But if it's a migrant education, Central Latino, or if we've been told the family speaks Spanish, we always include Spanish books as well as normal literature. School supply kits. Outerwear and long pants are given out year-round. Even if it's summertime and it's hot out, if you're unhoused, it's cold at night. So we still give out outerwear and long pants all throughout the year. We would, of course, in summer give shorts and short sleeves as well, but we also include the longer wear. Yeah.
Of which a lot of the clothing has been not only donated from individuals, but also a lot of probably stores have given a tremendous amount to you. Okay.
A lot of the clothing is used that we get donated to us from just the general public. It's new and like new clothing. Businesses will hold donation drives specifically for things like coats and pajamas, which we are in need of year round.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just amazing community donations that come in from the general public.
No. Again, I'm just so impressed with the generosity of our county.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's our intake room. We can go over here to toys.
So as the clothing comes in, do you have a laundering situation where you can wash everything ahead of time?
Yeah, we have one washer and dryer on site, one household size washer and dryer with cold water only.
Mm.
So if you know of any good plumbers or electricians, we'd love to have a new washer and dryer. We hope that things come in clean. If they don't, we do launder them. And oftentimes, schools are really great about giving us their lost and found quarterly throughout the
Sure.
year, which is
Yes.
fabulous for us because that's outerwear. It's very expensive for us. It's a high ticket item for us to have to purchase it all.
Hmm.
It has to be laundered. It's quite gross. And what that means is staff and volunteers take home laundry and
Okay.
wash it and bring it back
Okay.
here. Yeah. We do, when clothing comes in, we do have to look over it. Is there stains? Is there tears? We don't want to give that out to
Sure.
children. Is it appropriate clothing? Does it say like dad's little guy? Dad could be an abuser in that
Sure.
situation. It might not be appropriate for our kids. Is the clothing maybe too mature for our
Of course.
recipients? So we have to make sure it's appropriate. And whatever we can't use here in the warehouse, we try to pass on to other agencies who can use it. If it's adult clothing, we try to go to either the Mission or Whitebird Clinic. We have other children's nonprofits that can take some of our other children's clothes.
Misty, you mentioned something, and because we're being filmed, this would be a good time to ask. You mentioned plumber would be nice, an electrician would be nice,
Yeah.
and a washer and dryer would be nice.
An industrial, or at least bigger than a household.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they have all the knowledge of going through permitting and making that happen. So
Yeah.
there's going to be people out there that would love to come and help, that are electricians and plumbers.
That would be amazing. Yeah. So just like our clothing that comes in, any type of activity or toy that comes in needs to be, is it clean? We clean it.
Sure.
Is it functional? Are all the pieces there? Does it need batteries? And then we kind of have to sort them by age and by mass quantity. Let's see. We sort them by groupings. So if we know, again, most of our bags are customized. So they're made for a specific kiddo, and we know their likes, their dislikes, and their needs. So if we have a little boy that likes kites and dinosaurs, we're gonna make sure that his activity kits include dinosaurs and kites.
Mm-hmm.
So the volunteers can come back here and really find what it is. If it's a kiddo with sensory issues, we can make sure we have some sensory toys, and the clothing doesn't have zippers or buttons, so it's appropriate for that child in that situation. School supplies. We also have to be careful about what we give out. Like this is a 500-piece puzzle. We don't want to give out floor puzzles or large puzzles to
that they can't be successful with.
Well, that, and a child that doesn't have a home. Like if they're
Sure.
from St. Vincent de Paul First Place Family Center, they don't have a physical home. So we have to be really intentional and cautious about the toys and the items that we give to each child and their situation.
That makes sense.
Yeah. This is our toiletry section. Because we service children birth through age 17, we have to keep a lot of toiletries in stock. That's everything from the baby needs, infant needs, all the way up to teenagers. This isn't something that we typically get a lot of donations of. Nobody thinks to donate 300 or 400 bottles of shampoo.
Of course.
I went through 359 bottles of shampoo last month and 359 toothbrushes last month. So this is where a lot of our donation money as well as grants go to toiletry purchases.
I see.
Yeah. Okay. That's kind of the quick tour.
Well, it's an impressive tour. This is just so the whole community needs to know about this. Misty, thank you for taking us on that tour. This is impressive. What a great, not only a great warehouse and organized, and this is like a well-oiled machine, as they say, and the community has really come through and helped you.
Absolutely. We could not do what we do without our volunteers and community support. Yeah.
So how long has Bags of Love been in existence here in Lane County?
Since 2008, so for 16 years now.
Yeah. That's about 16 years, isn't it?
16 years, yeah.
And it's growing.
It grows every year, yeah.
That's good and bad. The good news is it's growing because you're getting so many more people knowing about you and donating to you.
Right.
And the bad part is there's more needs as you grow.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Lane County itself has about 46% of families in financial hardship.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't afford either food, transportation, health care services, childcare. We see about 5% of kindergarten through 12th grade students in Lane County that are unhoused.
Gosh, just think about that. Not being housed has such an impact on a young child. They may or may not know the difference, but something's not right for them. They know that they watch television and they see certain types of family situations, and they probably wonder how come theirs is not the same way.
Yeah.
So the core values or the mission statements of Bags of Love, can you kind of share what your mission statement might
Absolutely. Bags of Love helps a child in crisis due to abuse, neglect, poverty, homelessness, or disaster. And through our unique distribution system, we're able to support not only the physical and mental needs of a child, but the agency partners that care for them as well.
I'm going to go to the homeless for a moment.
Yeah.
I can only vision these people living in tents.
Mm-hmm.
It's raining.
Mm-hmm.
If they go out of their tent to go to an organization like this, some of their things might be stolen. They probably
Right.
have a pet for protection.
Right.
And so how do you reach children that are homeless?
So we work with agency partners. Again, that's right now over 135. And the scenario you're talking about, actually, it's quite similar to one that happened about 18 months ago. We had a DHS caseworker who put in an order for 2 bags of love. It was 2 8-year-old twins, and they were living in a tent with their mother. So of course we made the bags of love for them. We were able to put in some extra bedding that we had. Somebody had donated queen size bedding. We put in a comforter, and the staff just kind of looked at each other and we're like, it was in September, it was getting cold. We're like, who's gonna go get sleeping bags? So we went to the store and we got 3 cold weather sleeping bags to add to their bags of love, because that's what they needed. The thought of these 8-year-old twins in a tent in September when it was getting 30 degrees already at night.
And you can't just leave to go get something because of fear of someone else coming and taking your things, what few things there are. That's a tough one. You've kind of already described the types of things that you give out, which is not just clothes, but also toiletries and items, toys, items that make them feel more, I'll use the word at ease, but that's really a weak term.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
It's necessity and comfort items together. Sometimes, often more than not, the comfort items, the stuffed animals, the books, the blanket to cuddle up with are more important than the necessity items.
How does an organization, all the organizations out there certainly know about you and has your number on speed dial. But tell me the process about a person that contacts you from the beginning to the time that you can respond to their needs.
So it can be very quick. If we get something from an agency that says it's an emergency, we can get a bag done in 30 minutes for them and they can pick it up.
That's because you have so many volunteers is part of it.
Yes.
By the way, Misty, would you tell our audience, suppose there are several people out there that would love to volunteer for you.
Yes, absolutely. You can just come down to our warehouse. We're located at 1052 Green Acres Road, right next to Market of Choice. They can fill out a volunteer card, they can take a tour, and they can learn about the different areas of volunteering. There's sewing, there's sorting incoming donations, there's actually making the physical bags for children. There's lots of different opportunities, as well as some at-home volunteer opportunities.
That's something else that I think is very important. A lot of people don't have the ability to come to a location to help sew, but they have the facility at home that they can sew at their leisure, still take care of the pets, etc., and be part of this organization. So that to me is a real gold mine for you. I'm looking at my notes here, and it asks about what are your biggest challenges?
Since Bags of Love is 100% community funded, finances are always a challenge for us. Making sure that we're able to purchase the items that we don't receive sufficient donations of. Usually toiletries, the duffel bags that we purchase for our 11 and up-year-old crowd. So, and specific clothing items. We don't always get adult 4XL clothes or boys 5-6 pants. We go through like wildfire. So we do have to purchase items quite often to fill in the gaps in our inventory. So having funding for that is.
So the financial aspect is
Mhm.
probably then your biggest
Mhm.
issue.
Yeah.
I know that there are several groups out there that have tried very diligently to help fund you, and of which even our own real estate Remax has done
Yeah.
that as well. But I know there's a lot of other organizations that are raising monies for you. Matter of
Mhm.
fact, you want to mention a few? Just
Well, most recently, it's the Eugene and Springfield Realtors. They have an event at the end of June, a golf event annually.
yes,
This is
indeed.
our third or fourth year that Bags of Love has been the recipient of that large event, and so that's a substantial fundraiser for Bags of Love every year.
Well, I'm going to be part of that,
Wonderful.
and I'm bringing a calculator along so I can count how many strokes I take on each hole. So that'll be good. But I know that that's coming up very soon, as
Yes,
a matter of fact.
June 28th.
Volunteers, uh, how many hours does an average volunteer put in per week?
Oh, an average one.
An average now. I know there's some that work full
Yeah,
time
yeah.
almost for you.
What we require of a volunteer is 2 hours, 1 day a week. That's kind of what Bags
Okay.
of Love requires.
Okay.
What our volunteers do, however, is often far more than that. Our receptionist is typically here for 5 hours, 3 days a week. And then we have a different receptionist on Thursday. We have volunteers who come for 4 hours, 3 days a week. We have volunteers who come 4 days a week.
It's amazing.
It's just their heart and their spirit and their positivity is what makes Bags of Love
Sure.
run.
You mentioned something though that kind of cued with me, and that's, is it just 4 days a week that people can stop by?
Yes, we're
Okay.
open Monday through Thursday
Very
from
important.
10 to 2. We do have donation barrels around town. They're listed on our website. So if somebody wanted to donate new or like new clothing, toys, books to Bags of Love, they can go and find those locations around town in businesses that are open far greater hours than what we're able to be open.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So please go to their website to find those areas so you can donate on a weekend if you wish to.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask another question. I know that you're working with kids up to about 17, including 17
Yes.
years old.
Yes.
Are there any adults that you help out with this as well?
It's Bags of Love was made for birth through age 17.
Okay.
There's always exceptions.
Sure.
Every once in a while, we'll get an order for a family where they have multiple younger children, and then they'll have like a 19-year-old, and they'll put the order in. Of course, we're going to do a bag for a 19-year-old, but we're really birth through 17 is the main focus, children.
I understand. Yeah. Okay.
But children come in sizes preemie through adult 4XL. So even though they're children, we still need clothing sizes infant to adult 4XL in child appropriate clothing.
So now that I've gone from XL to double XL, I have clothes that probably don't fit, that are still in good shape, and I could donate those and they would still work for children, certainly in the 16, 17 years old.
Absolutely.
So that's something to remember, all you guys that are like me and are gaining weight. Just saying. So looking ahead, future goals and aspirations, I can't imagine this building growing any bigger, but is there any potential for growth within this building and how you serve people?
We've tried to utilize our space in this building quite wisely. We've just made a coat wall going up the wall to use our vertical space. I think the next move for Bags of Love, should we be expanding, would probably be with agency partners where we wouldn't have to have a second location but could still support other rural communities and branch out in Oregon through them.
Like a Cottage Grove and a Crestwell and so on. That would be wonderful.
Right.
And I bet that there are a lot of locations of late, because of a decreasing need for commercial properties, that there might be some vacancies that can be used in the different communities.
Possibly, yeah.
That's a potential. I think perhaps the thing that I want to remind the audience is that we're going to have your name, phone number, and website on the video so that people can stop the video, write down the information, and continue to support you in any way that they can. So it's not just about material things, but it's also about people.
Yes.
And so,
yes.
Misty, thank you. I
Yes, thank
really
you.
appreciate you
Yeah,
taking the time.
absolutely.
It's really been wonderful. And I'm so impressed with not only all that you do and the community members do, but also how much is donated and how
Yeah.
organized everything is. You've really provided a great service for this community.
Many hands make light work.
I hear you. So until next time, I'm Gary Reyes with Eugene Spotlights. And if you have any questions about anything that has been discussed here, get in touch with me and I'll be glad to find out those answers and get to you. But remember, we are going to have the information for Misty and the Bags of Love on the website. So until next time, Gary Reyes saying goodbye and take care.